Proceed to the ruptures statue and face my minion.
Morning there. How's it going, Flu?
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
Just getting up. Nice. Then you get to hunt capitals.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
What do you got your crafting to there, Flu? Have you got some digging deeper levels? Um, have you been doing some infused ruptures? Yeah. Well, those are probably gonna give you the most power to begin with, so that you can move up. Um, what offhands are you using? Rain of Fire. I think some others were using that, so it's probably okay.
Proceed to the
Not
rupture
really.
statue and face my
It's more a
minion.
matter you got to get your fire and ability stones, your elemental and ability stones. So I'd grind out some ruptures. You want to do about 100 ruptures, get 10 infused beetles, and then do some infused ruptures there, 'cause that'll give you like an extra 110% on your elemental and on your abilities as well. I think that's probably what's holding you back right now, 'cause you'll find is you add more to your to your fire and rain of fire there that you'll be able to clear faster and easier. These don't need those. 40. Well, the main things you're gonna want to do for crafting is convert your map keys into dwarven runes, and then your dwarven runes you craft into the amulet of the druid, and your flawless residue diamonds you craft into your Mirestone helm recipes. You can also do your legendary glowing stones if you've already got all your T1 gear. You can just craft those into whatever recipe. Use one of the recipes that are erudite or ranger, because they only cost $350 instead of $375. What else? You have to convert all this, in those 3 stands by the crafting stand there, and then craft them as you can. You won't get a lot out of these down here. You don't get a lot of mats for it. And then by the windmill, that's where you craft all these. And you can let them build up. You don't have to do it all at once, because if you're trying to do them after every few runs or something, it's costing you a lot more time than it needs to. You just want to do them all at once, like a good bit. I wouldn't even do amulets until you had about 50k worth of dwarven runes, because that's 2,000 crafts right there, which will give you about it'll give you about 1,000 on your crafting skill, which is 2 digging deeper levels right there. So it's, if you farm your map keys and turn them all into dwarven runes there, that's going to be one of your better ones. Well, I mean, crafting's something you don't even really need to do, but you won't be able to do capitals if you don't get it up to 1,000. But what are you using your map keys for? Are you making catacomb keys? See these map keys here? Have you been making catacomb ones out of them? Yeah, don't make catacomb keys. They'll drop and you get one every day from your dailies, doing your dailies. It costs 30 of these right here of each one just to make a cata key. That's 240 times 75, that's 240 times 75, that's I don't know. It's quite a bit of dwarven runes you could have had and been crafting. Katas are worth nothing. You don't want them. It's the only thing you go through there for is to get the dwarven runes, some gems, and the Kata 2 key, or the Kata 2 fragment. But they aren't worth anything. Yeah, that's the only time you do it. But you get a Kata key from your dailies every day, so it's never make Kata keys right now because uh, they're more valuable as dwarven runes for anything else you want to use, like amulets, crafting amulets. I mean, like I said, 50k dwarven runes, that'll give you 1,000. That'll give you 1,000 crafting skill right there, and bang, you got the lost path, and you're on your way to digging deeper ones and getting your capitals up. And that's the point you're at. But never convert these to Kata keys. That's not worth it because you don't get enough dwarven runes out of the Kata to make it worthwhile. Yeah. I mean, I don't personally use the orange gear much. The only thing that I really find useful are the extra essences. If you're using a skill that requires on death proc, then yeah, that might be worth it as well. But for the most part, no. Yeah, it's you don't even really require it. It's just basically you want to do as fast as you can in your ruptures, even if you got to set it to 40 to get your bags of essences. If you don't have these two, then I would suggest going a lower rupture level, because this is what you want here. You want as many bags of essences as you can get as fast as you can get, because that's where your power is going to come from. There and fellowship ruptures for now. They give you your ability stones and your elemental stones and HP stones. All good things and all things that you're going to require. So you really want to get on these, and as you do that, you'll find that your map keys stack up, your dwarven runes stack up as you're doing all this. And then when you do do some crafting, all you got to do is convert all your map keys to dwarven runes, and then do your amulets there. You do them all at once. I just craft all, and whenever it's close to full, my bag's close to full, I run over to the disenchanting station and just get rid of all the blues and yellows. Don't even worry about what your oranges are, whether you've got a thing on it or not, a mod on it or not. Save that till the end. After everything's crafted, run back to the crafting stand and grab what's in there, and just keep repeating that back and forth until they're all crafted. Then you look at your oranges, see if there's any that roll the mod that you want or whatever. But like I said, 50k dwarven runes, and you'll get 1,000 out of that, 1,000 skill ups. So that'll put you into the starting to farm for digging deeper or whatever. And when you disenchant all that stuff, you're gonna find all this piles up, and your fragments here as well. So this you'll be able to get a lot more crafting out of as well, and whatever you get for your flawless residue diamonds on your mirrorstone ones as well. You'll find you get quite a bit of crafting once you do it, especially if you convert your map keys to dwarven runes. And you only do it, like I only do this when I'm about to craft. I'll do all that. I don't sit there and go back every run or anything like that. You're just gonna wanna bang, 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 go as fast as you can. Even if you have to take it down to 40, take it down to 40, because you can do it faster since you don't have essences here. These two, it'll make it quicker because you don't need as many essences. And then once you get about 100 bags of these, do 10 infused, and like I said, there's 100 to your elemental and 100 to your ability, and you'll notice it, especially early on. Yeah, I think he's already got that, so.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minions.
But yeah, you gotta really set your goals to figure out what you want and where you're at, more or less, and sort of focus yourself. And right now, you need more power, by the sounds of it. That's one of the points I hate, is farming that, because I don't like fast farming. It just it tires me out to no end, trying to, you know, do 100 runs as quick as you can, just because, you got to power up to get to the next point. The bracers, they're gonna take you, yeah, forever. You gotta just sit there, and what I do is, for bracers, when I do my infused, I stay in there the whole time so that I get, infused have 3 times the experience per mob. So you stay in there and just kill like crazy for the whole rupture pretty well until the last minute, and then go kill the boss real fast. Just grab the four things by the stand there, your HP, ability, and that, and then convert your essences and go on to the next.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minions. Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
You do a lot of infused fellowship ruptures. Um, demigods and Kof. Kof gives a lot of HP ones, and so does level 100 of the fellowship ruptures. And that's basically it. It's just a matter of doing those things that actually drop HP stones or have HP stones in them. It's like where's my okay, max health. So I got 24,311. That's how many I've farmed this season. And I've only got a few points into stamina. Everything else is in strength. But yeah, the Fellowship Keys and Cathedral of Fire are the two you get quite a bit of HP ability and elemental stones.
Proceed to the rupture statue and
Okay, I'll be back in 1 second here. Okay, I'm back. The other thing I do is when I start a new season, I already know what I'm going to go after. Thanks, board. Um, it's always nice to know what skill you're going to use that season. Be open to change though as you go as you start, because things are always changing in the game because it's in early access still. So there's, the amount of percent damage you get for certain skills, and that might be adjusted because it's too powerful or too weak, or they're trying to get more players trying a different skill. Yeah, mages are going to get a nerf for next season, I imagine. But even if they don't, it's not way overpowered. But with a ranger, the amount they proc and that, they have a distinct advantage for that. But you don't have to play any specific one, because when you get to your end game stats, as you can see here, I've got like 7,500% damage for my Zelker mages. So if I added that to, say, electric dragons, which only give you 100 or whatever, I would really only have a little extra, and I could actually go higher with electric dragons probably than I could with Zelkers for two-hand, because it's a better working skill for how it delivers the damage. Zelkors are kind of unpredictable. They split off their damage when there's lots of mobs, whereas your electric dragons and your rotational spells like um, Eye of the Storm and stuff like that, Burning Shield with the fire dragons, they all rotate, so they're a more focused, more focused area, and you can kill faster usually with something like that. But the Zelkors, they do work. It's just, it's kind of, you got to play a little differently and realize that if you get to the boss and he's casting a lot of minions, it's really hard to focus your Zelkors all on the boss to get him down. But other than that, the skill is good, and it is workable. It's just, I think it's probably a little overpowered. I don't know what they plan for it, but next season for me, I'm going Death Blades. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna focus on the highest rupture. I'm gonna focus on just playing, killing there. They might work for end game ruptures as well. I'm not sure. I'll have to see when I get to that point. But that's my plan for next season. So what I do at the start of a season is, the first thing is get through the 1 to 35, of course. Yeah, I'm still hardcore. That's all I play. If my character dies, I just start a new one. But what I do is I pump everything into stamina, because if you're gonna play and you can't, if you're not that great at being a glass cannon,
Proceed to the ruptures
yeah,
statue and
I'm
face
not
the
sure. I don't know how well toxicity is working right now. It's nothing great. I don't worry too much about the add-on abilities. Like, they're nice to have early on, but if you get too focused on certain things like re-rolling and stuff like that, you kind of hurt yourself. So what I do is, whatever skill I'm gonna play, I pretty much stick to it once I figure it out. Like, once you get to the 36 ruptures, 36 plus, you should know pretty much what you want and look into it. But so what I'll do is I'll stick everything in stamina, and then I just play until I'm doing Kof runs, and that'll quickly power you up in everything else. After that, when you start pushing the final ruptures, that's when you want to do your respect. And I only do it once during the season. There's no sense pumping in respect every 5 levels or something like that. Cathedral of Fire is the biggest, and that's level 125. The level 100
proceed to the ruptures statue and
Fellowship Rupture is another one. It gives as much ability and elemental stones and HP stones as Cathedral of Fire does. But yeah, when you're playing, basically you get to 36 and then you farm your offhands, your purple offhands, and your purple um, T1 T1 gear, like so that you get all your recipes and stuff like that. And to do that, you want to go fast. You don't want to spend too much time in a rupture, because the boss chest is what's going to drop your flawless diamonds and your legendary glowing stones. So the sooner you get to the boss and get that kind of stuff, the faster you're going to be able to start getting your T1 gear. Once you got T1 gear, it becomes an infused rupture thing for the most part, and do your fellowship ruptures when you can as well, because they'll give HP elemental and that as well. And then you're gonna have to get some crafting done as well to get to 1000 for the lost path, because capitals will be your next stop. You're gonna need to do a few capitals, and then it's Olympus for your T3 gear. On the right side of your character there, it'll give those 5 slots. Then it's on to demigods. When you get to demigods, you get your T3 weapon, and you get your T3 gear. And then after that, I push to Kof by doing, lots of, always doing your infused and stuff like that, and your scrolls. You need those to make demigods keys, and you need your imbued dwarven runes for demigods keys. Once you push up to Kof there and get your T4 gear, you're pretty much indestructible, because as you can see, it's got strength, stamina, and all that. So once you got this gear, that's when you can, re-roll, because you're going to have way more HP than you need, because you've been sinking it all into stamina. So then I'll re-roll, and I'll put most of my stats into strength pretty much. I might put a few into stamina just to give me a little extra buffer or something, But other than that, you don't want to respec too often, because it just becomes a coin suck if you're going to be respecting all the time. And it's not really going to change much on your character. Most of your power is going to come from your infused and those special ruptures, your Alicia and everything else. They all give stuff as well. Grave diggers, I only did one this season. I hate that zone. It's like I hit every friggin' wall in there, and it's just a huge pain in the ass for me. On top of that, you got to use a skill that has a lot of range and will quickly put down all the beetles and that. So what I do is after about one, because that's about all I can stand of it, I just go in and in the regular ruptures there, I turn in the keys for the chest by the vendors there, the gravedigger chest. And that'll give you 25 of each large stone, and gives you a imbued dwarven rune as well and stuff. So That's basically how my season usually goes. And you do crafting every once in a while. I didn't do a lot this season. It's my crafting skill is only 62 this season. You get a lot. It's a lot easier to get an ambassador keys this season, so I didn't really go full on for crafting because in order to do that, you got to do a lot of looting and everything else as you're killing, and it just it didn't seem worth it this season. So I kept it lower. I did enough, to see all the mods and that. And for this season, really the only mods that were helpful for me are the two that I'm wearing. The essences, because they help you do ruptures faster. If you're low on your base damage, there's a helm that converts two for every two essences you have, you get 1% damage. So while you're pushing up to Kof there, that helmet can be fairly useful, because you'll be able to do a higher level rupture and kill the boss like really quick, because it really adds up if you have a low damage base to begin with. But in the end game, once you've done enough capitals and that, and your base damage is up, the helmet's not as useful then. But there are other helmets and stuff that can be useful, like the glyph ones and stuff that I've seen. But in all honesty, your T4 gear is pretty dope. It's gonna pretty much get you where you want to go. There's a lot of actual damage out of it.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minions.
And yeah, insane toe there. This is actually my third one. Yeah, you have to decide early what you're gonna play, because as you can see here, the more you kill, the higher this goes. So the more damage you're doing. I got 283% damage, two-handed damage. That's not going to be way up there if you're trying to play a couple different weapons. So the sooner you figure it out early, the better. Like I don't I don't bother getting all kinds of other ones up there. Yeah, my my three. Well, my first one I lost to crafting. I was crafting and I had a power failure, so it corrupted. It was hardcore. The second one, I died. I can't even remember how. I think it was something stupid, but it happens. And then this one I haven't died on, and I probably won't unless I do something really stupid like tab out in the middle of a group of monsters or something. I did that last season at level 620 or something, somewhere around there. And that I blame on YouTube because I was trying to dual stream and the way it was it to put my screen into full screen all the time, and I couldn't get back to Dwarven Realms fast enough to save my characters, so I stopped dual streaming that.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
Oh, yeah, it's like if you're going for experience, you're gonna want to, but at the end of the game, it depends. Like, if you already got enough levels, like after, I don't know, about 540 or 550, you're not really gonna get much out of the another 100 stat points. It's not gonna give you any big advantage or anything. So once you get to that point, it's kind of experience becomes kind of a who cares really thing unless you're actually pushing for being number one on the leaderboard or whatever. You'll still get experience, especially if you do demigods and Cathedral of Fire. Those are huge experience bonuses there. So you don't have to, but it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're gonna craft, you're gonna need to loot. There's times you gotta go and stay in a rupture the whole time. Either if you're doing experience or you're looting the whole zone for crafting mats or bracer mats, because bracers are directly related to how much you're killing. So you may as well just stay in the rupture and rock out on it for, at least a while anyways. But then if you're gonna farm scrolls for demigods, or if you're gonna farm your flawless and your glowing, you want to go fast. If the Q skill stops working, it's usually you gotta roll or something. What stance are you using? one hand. Okay. Yeah, you basically gotta roll, and then it should work again. But yeah, I don't know. It happens on most of the characters. Like Pirate lost his because his bow stopped working. Um, I almost lost this one because I had the auto attack on and it stopped working there. I'm not sure if I hit one of the things that breaks the auto attack or not, but it's gonna happen. You gotta be aware of it and try not to be, too focused on anything. I try and maintain my focus on the character and watching to make sure he's actually, attacking. But yeah, you can lose a hardcore character that way if you're in a very high rupture that requires your life leech and that. Lower ruptures, it's not as bad. Usually you have a little time to see what's going on. Yeah, doesn't doesn't take long if you do book turn-ins or something. What's there? Oh, yeah, he's hacking. He'll have to get shadow banned. Yeah. They're gonna have to fix that at some point, but I know why they haven't and they can't right now, but it's gonna become more prevalent. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I mean, if you were subtle about it, you could probably get away with it, but I don't know. These guys, they just want to see their names in lights or something. Well, as soon as you got your crafting, as soon as you got your crafting to here, Bane of the Blacksmith, you get modifiers, so you can get it as early as you get that. It just takes luck in that. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the guys that always cheat, they really kill games. It's like that's what drove me from Diablo 2. I loved Diablo 2, the race to 99 and all that. And then Mousepad there made his stupid map hack and paved the way for all the bots and everything. And Diablo never really made much of an effort to actually stop those that were botting and everything else. And like, you just can't compete with a bot after a while 'cause they're running 24/7. And even Diablo 3, while they changed a lot, there were still guys, using bots to farm the G-Rift keys there or whatever while they slept, and then they just did G-Rifts all day or whatever. Yeah, I can imagine. Diablo was never much for people actually cheating. Yeah. Well, Diablo 2 was bad for the all the hacks that they could use and the duping and stuff. It was so bad. I mean, I don't know how it's been since they did the remastered thing or whatever. I imagine it's probably exactly the same, just I never bought into their whole money play there.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
I just don't understand the guys that sit there and actually do it. It's like, are you really that lazy you don't want to play a game? Yeah. And it's gonna happen. Diablo 4 I never even looked at. There was no way I was gonna give them a dime. Cause I know it would be same thing. It'll be full of bots and everything else after little time.
Proceed to the rupture statue
I
and
never
face
played
my
WoW.
minion.
I'm not sure. Do they actually enforce bans and stuff in WoW there? Okay, yeah, I didn't figure they would, but with a monthly subscription thing, uh, they actually need to be better on stuff like that. Yeah. getting to the point that it's ridiculous to try and play a game now, because with AI coming out, I imagine there's going to be AI bots just playing a game for somebody for some reason. It's like I don't even see the appeal to that. Like I can't figure out what they actually get out of it. Yeah.
Proceed to the ruptures at
There
you
was
and
only
face
one
my
game I even
minions.
used, what do you call it? Macros or something, I think they're called. And that was for EverQuest. We had to use them for raids and that, just so that we could coordinate, you know, who's healing and on who and stuff, like who's healing the main tank and that, especially on raids, because you had like 54-man raids or something, I think it was. But that's the only time I've even used a macro. And I didn't enjoy setting it up. It's a pain in the ass. I like this game though. It's fast and you don't really need to overthink things so much, you know? Like it's not that it's simple, but it's that it's there's different paths you can take just to get to the end in that. So you can change things up. Just go in and kill for a while, or you know, do fast runs if you want for the meta gaming, and
Proceed to the ruptures at you and face my minions.
but in the end, this game kind of comes down to a time played in the game. Nope. I haven't really played a lot of different games. Like I've played Diablo 2, Diablo 3, um, Fortnite, EverQuest. What are some of the others? 1 second here. EverQuest 2, Dauntless, um, Civilization, Cult to Power, um, Age of Empires. Basically, those types of games, and that's about it. I've never. What's Hero Siege? Is that sort of one of those phone games or something? Oh, a simulator of D2. Okay. Yeah. I tried what is it? Path of Exile there, but I didn't really care for it. Like I liked D2 as it was, just without bots and
Proceed to the
duping.
ruptures at you and face my minions.
Is it exactly the same as D2 or is it like a spin-off type thing? But for me, I usually when I play a game, if I like it, I'll just play it until it becomes, not fun to play anymore. It becomes like a job or something. Like this one, I don't mind. I just come in for a few hours, kill or do runs, and then I'll take a break or whatever and come back, do a few more hours. Oh yeah.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minions.
Yeah. I'm. I probably won't. I usually only play one game at a time. 'Cause I find when I jump around from different games, the key sets and everything kind of screw me up. So I'll probably be playing this one for years to come, especially if it keeps going the way it's going anyway. Yeah, I would still be playing D2 if it hadn't got killed by the bots and that. That was my favorite at the time. You see that Osider guy crater? I think he might need to be shadow banned. Uh, these guys keep sticking in the floor every once in a while as well. His minions there. Osider. It's like in about 10 minutes he went from about level 60 to now 238. And since there's no way you could have done that, so yeah, he's up to 238 now. Yeah, bottled slugs. I need keys out of here, not slugs. I don't think he's on the top 200 yet, is he? I'll see when he gets on to the top 200 if he's actually done anything, or but I don't know. We've been talking about that as well. Why they even do it, period, but ooh, another one. Give me ambassador keys from it. I don't know how she managed to get such good luck on Sands of Time and Fortune Tombs all the time. Must steal all my drops.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
Yeah, pretty much. You make me work for everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've made my fair share of characters too, and have done enough. Yeah, look at that. Now he really went all out now. He wasn't getting enough experience, so he bumped it up even more. What a dumbass. It's like, make it so easy to know that you're cheating. Yeah. That's probably why he put it all up. Then he's going to be shocked when he doesn't see his name on the leaderboard. funny. They sit there, oh my god, I'm not getting enough experience here. So I want to be number one. Well, let's just exploit this. Yay. Now I'm number one in 5 minutes. Now what do I do?
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
See here. All right. I guess I could do a little crafting here. And then I can do some runs. So now that I'm not really worried about crafting levels any more this season, I'm going to change up how I craft and get myself more imbued dwarven runes by exchanging or changing these into map keys and then map keys into here. Normally I'll craft these in the crafting stand by the windmill there, but your bones are over here in this crafting stand. The relics right here, 500 bones, 1 flawless residue diamond. That uses all these ones, and just slight amount of those. And it'll give you a lot because whenever you disenchant yellows, blues, or your whites, well, you don't really get whites from crafting, but anyway, from early on in the game, it gives you these types of fragments, and then you can craft them in here and get a lot extra crafts done for there. Okay, so let's start with Goblet of Arcane, Horn of Lightning, Trinket of Fire. So these offhands give you a skill up every time. So it's a 100% chance you'll get a skill up. They're good to craft. They take like 3 seconds on each though. Or 2 seconds, I guess. So they take a little bit to do. But while they're doing those, you can do your others. Like, start your dwarven bracers. Bracers of might. Put those. And do So for my legendaries, I use the 350 glowing stones, even though it's not mine, just because it'll give me some extra crafts. And flawless mirror stone. And if you just hit enter when you leave a crafting stand, it'll craft straight to your inventory. But you have to be careful, because if you hit tab or if you leave a crafting stand by pressing E, it'll stop crafting to there, and you may end up with one in your one of your crafting stands might be spilling over onto the floor. I do either flat damage or crit damage. Those are multipliers, so you want to use those. He's up to 604. Go Oswald. They can't right now because they may change. So. Yeah. That's correct, insane. I wonder at what point Oswald will figure out something's wrong, that he can't, he's not showing up on the leaderboards. pretty much. I think it. Well, I think it keeps going until they log out or something, and then anytime they play after that, it doesn't show. I think it keeps showing until he logs out and then logs back in. But I mean, already he should be number one, so now he's at 673. He's gonna push it up to like 900 or something, probably before he even figures it out. Okay, let's go like this. Yeah. I don't really think there's anything left I actually need for mods here. Yeah. I get those a lot. I do want to keep that one. Yeah. You just sell them for coins. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's maybe a 1 in 10. Could be more, could be less. I don't really pay attention that closely. And this is the first season we've had them, so I don't think anybody's really sat there and got a good feel for it yet of how often they craft a mod. I'm not sure if Crater has any plans on doing anything more with fellowships right now. The game's going to be going to multiplayer at some point. The fellowship is just kind of a way to get a little interaction while they start doing the or do the rest of the game there. So I'm not sure. Might get some, might not. Oh yeah, stuff like that. They might. I think there was some suggestions in there about it. I mean, Crater and Albibo, they don't really give you a lot of information. They let everybody work things out for themselves, how they want to play in that. So, I mean, it's not bad. Like most AARPGs don't really give you a lot of information either. It's you know you never want to be spoon fed it like some people do. I understand that they just want to, okay, well, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Type thing, and that's fine. But for me, if I went into a game where it says you should be doing this or this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, it kind of makes it a uninteresting game. So whenever they change something, it's like I didn't even notice that the change to the crafting stand and home fort there, that you could use the bones now for this season until somebody pointed it out. I was still converting my bones into map keys and that for the start of the season there. But yeah, it's the game's good and it's good over a wide variety. I mean, you can just play casually and enjoy coming in and just killing things for a while. It's not like you have to push up, I mean, to the higher ruptures than that. But it's also interesting to get to the higher ruptures and see what it's all about. The higher special ruptures like demigods and cathedral of fire and everything else. And there's quite a few different ways you can play it too. It's like you can just grind out ruptures if you want, and if you want to play the meta game, then yeah, go for it. I find that just burns me right out, though. That's why I don't usually play meta. 'Cause for the amount I played, if I played that, I'd I'd beat everybody easily. My biggest wish list is the crafting. It's not hard to challenge me. I mean, Pirate already, you know, he's got what, 3 characters up there in the top 5 now, probably? 3 or 4? Yeah. Oh, when you go 20 hours of playing meta pretty much, then it's, yeah, you can get right up there. I mean, for the amount of time I play, I'd be right up there if I was, or I'd be well beyond if I was actually playing meta. But like I said, I can't stand doing stuff like that because it burns you out, and it makes the game almost like a job, and you're kind of, yeah. Well, I always play ED as well for the most part. It's one of the skills that's nicely balanced for what it does. People think it's overpowered, but it's not. It's just it's well balanced. Some of the other skills are uh, underwhelming right now, and they're working on those and that. But yep, when you start looking at leaderboards and that, that's when you're you're not looking at the game so much as fun as to you want to compete or whatever. Then yeah, it'll be uh, it'll be more of a grind, and I just think games take away from it. But yeah, I find any of them pretty much you could almost make work, like especially early on. But there are definitely some that are better than others. How many I got left here? 1,400 yet. This is the part I don't like. It's the crafting. I wish it was a little different how it's done or something. Takes away too much time from the actual gameplay. Oh, I'm gonna run out for a smoke real quick while I craft here. Let's see if I can do this without having to stop. So I'll be back in a minute. in time. Yeah. As you can see over at my crafting stand there, I didn't get back in time, so it's crafting onto the ground there. But that's alright. Just gotta go around and pick up any that I can see. Well, they used to have auto disenchant. I've been trying to talk Crater into bringing it back because it'd be easier for crafting, especially you could craft a bunch of stands at once and it's not so chaotic. But I'm not sure if they will or not. See what they decide. I mean, crafting is probably going to get more updates further in the season and that, or not the season, but further in the game once they get some of the other stuff done, the gameplay and that all where they want it. And hopefully then we'll be able to get some something different in how they do the crafting. I don't know. You got like you got a bracer that for every digging deeper level you get 1% experience gain. That's a nice bracer, but I mean to get your crafting up, you'd have to spend most of your you have to spend so much time crafting that you kind of lose out where that bracer would actually be effective. Well, they're still doing a lot with the gameplay because right now they Macedonian infused ruptures. There's a problem with those that they're trying to get addressed, and they may have to change those. So that's more important than some of the other quality of life issues there right now. I mean, crafting's kind of a secondary portion to it. It isn't the be all end all of the game, so I can understand their thinking. And I mean, there's only the two of them doing it, so it's a labor of love right now. Yeah, but that's gonna cost money and you know, stuff like that. You gotta kind of balance it where it is. Yeah, there are like Dreyfus and Chi tests most things and that, but it's not so much that, it's that there's you know, just the two of them doing all the coding and all that, all that has to be changed and everything else trialed and that. Like Crater and Albevo, or they don't even get to play very much anymore. They used to play a lot more in earlier seasons, but it's I think most of their time is spent trying to improve everything as you go along. Yeah. It's getting there though. It's a lot better. The game's a lot better than when I had first started. So I mean, I have no problem with it as it is, as it's going. I mean, the pace might be a little slow for some people, but it's just something you kind of got to deal with. Right now, the main reason I've been streaming so much and putting up all the videos and that is more to get a bigger base going, and you know, it's makes it more fun. Yeah. For me, I like grinding in a rupture for like pretty much the whole 10 minutes. But it's not as effective. You kind of have to balance things out. Yeah, I'm always for more mobs. But uh, I know when I played on my old computer there, it could get uh, it could get pretty laggy there at times because just had too many. Yeah, we used to have when you killed those um, experience and damage buff slugs, you used to get like plus 5 seconds or something to the rupture. It added to the rupture level, but it was just that was more when we had to find a good rupture that was just a melee rupture, because the just because of the way the game was set up at the time, you get into a rupture that was mainly ranged mobs, and you couldn't really do anything in those. It was just so slow and hard to get to them because they wouldn't move towards you and stuff like that. But I think it's becoming they're getting a good balance going. And it's like every game too. There's always, you know, something you're not gonna like about it. That's you gotta really grind and force yourself to do it, type thing. But I've actually found the game quite interesting, especially as it changes season to season, and some of the issues get addressed and some you kind of just gotta work with until they can be fixed or things get better for it. Hey, finally done by the looks of it. Yep. Okay, good. Da, 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 da. little slow right now because my inventory is so full. Alright. See, this is... No, you start brand new, everything's wiped right now. There will be later on as the game progresses and they get further along. You'll probably have off-season or non-season characters available so that you can just keep playing your character and that. I'd like to test this helm. And this is why I stream so much, is to try and get a bigger base into the game because it's a great game. And you'd be able to do more things like this, get a full fellowship with players that are, you know, playing the whole season, and they can use things like this and actually have it work. No, and I can't invite it. I can't kick anybody because the character I made the fellowship with, he corrupted. He got corrupted, so only the leader can kick non-active players and that out. So unless somebody actually leaves the fellowship, and I was full yesterday, I know, because I tried to invite somebody. You know what? Okay, I can see if I can invite you. Check. The T, the I, and the T are all capitalized. They're insane. Okay, just insane toe. Next season I'm going to try and get a fellowship going that's only members that are going to be playing the whole season type of thing. Doesn't matter if you just play a couple hours a day or something, but play all the way through. The yellow reddish one, that would give you, that one gives you second here, it looks reddish orange to me. There's two beetles that sometimes show up. One's reddish orange, or I don't know, it depends on your color, I guess, on your monitors and that, but gives an imbued dwarven rune. The other one gives, it's a blue one, and it gives infused time rupture beetle. Somebody must be wearing the share fellowship one with that. But yeah, next season I want to try and get a group that's going to be playing all season and get a fellowship full of those instead of just you know, guys that go hard at it for a couple days and then just they wait for the next season, more or less. Alright, so do a few more. If I can get that one over, I can get two more. So yeah. Yeah, it can really eat up your time there quickly. Uh, 541. There we go. So I'll finish up that. Basically what I'm trying to do is get another 5,000 fortune fragments, because that'll give me an extra ambassador key as well. I already got one for the elven fragments, and this I'm gonna turn into map keys, because I need imbued dwarven runes pretty badly. They'll give me more demigod keys, and which will give me more Kof keys. Which will give me more power, so on and so forth. Nice. Yeah, I've played well, I've played almost a year now, and I've I'm over 3,000 hours in a year, so I've played it quite a bit. But yeah, need to get the word out there and get a bigger base going. That'll help with a lot with the fellowships, the usefulness. If you get more players playing constantly. Yeah, your regen and your superior health potions, whoever asked about that, I usually just sell them every once in a while. They'll give you coins, which you can buy flint or dwarven stone. Flint makes the damage stones, and there we go. Perfect. And the dwarven stone makes the armor ones. So, alright, we got that. Just gonna do this. Mm-hmm. 25, so 4 per. Need, let's see, 32 would make 8 keys. 9 would be at 36. So looking to try and get this to 36. That'll give me 9 demigods keys, which when I do those, I'll get 3 more Kof keys. So that's what we're gonna work on. So I got 3 gravedigger ones. That's another 3 right there. 2 ancient catacombs. That's 2 there, so that's 30. I'll be up to. And the big thing, if you're playing for experience, what you want to do is get your large slugs up to 200, basically, and your small ones up around 200 or so when you start doing your demigods and your Kof runs, because it affects the experience you get, and it's huge experience bonus there. And like I've got 847 percent experience already, but when you do them, you want to do them where you get the most out of it. But I won't be doing that. 'Cause there's just not enough people farming all the time for experienced slugs and stuff. I don't know the difference between T1 and T2. I'm not sure what they're meaning by that. It's all the same. It's just one tier to me. But your mythical gear is you just craft it. You get the recipes from the 100 essence chests. T3 gear is from Olympus and demigods. T4 is from Cathedral of Fire. So I don't really know what they're considering T2. Maybe it's the purples that drop in kata runs and from other stuff, I guess. I don't really have a recommended. I play by feel completely. It's as long as I've got, I don't know, 15 or 20k HP, I'll attempt it if I think I'm close, but I don't even know what damage I usually do it by. It's just, like I say, I play pretty much by feel, and CR, I don't even look at that stat. It means nothing to me, so I'm not even sure what goes into that calculation for CR, so it's not something I actually look at. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna kill for a little bit in this rupture. Yeah. Yeah, lots of people have killed me in the game. I've killed myself enough times. I think he's the permanent level 10 rupture boss as well. So everybody has to kill me at least once. Yeah. Was he? I wasn't paying attention. 772. He's gonna have to up his experience soon so he can get to 1,000. Are you malls on malls? Because that's what it is. It's the Maul's buff divine shield or something. But if not, then somebody in your fellowship is a Maul player and has a helm that shares it with the guild. Yeah, that's what it'll be. Makes you invulnerable for I don't know, 5 seconds or something, and increases your damage 20% or something. Maybe even 50%, I don't know. Can't remember. You can craft it, but unless you're actually using them all, it won't work. Well, for the glyphs one, it's those are those blue things just above these things here. So that's what that shares. And in order to benefit from that, you need to activate them by using your R attack. But I'm not sure whether that would be something that would really be that great for a lot of players, because a lot of players use Q attacks because it's you get more attacks and it's better. The energy consumption is less. You proc more, but the R attack is good for more damage. But for the most part, you rarely need more damage unless you're really pushing a end of a game or something, content, or like maybe you're underpowered for demigods or something, then yeah, you can use that to boost your damage in order to complete a rupture that you might not have completed. I use it mainly at end game ruptures, so it'll give a little extra damage as you go. But I power it up using Q attacks and then just hit the R attack when it's available. Oh, I gotta go get those.
Proceed to the rupture statue and face my minion.
Okay, so 2 ambassador keys, good. Alrighty, grab that. Grave digger. If the melee attack was better, I think that would be a really nice nice skill for our attack there. You could really do some major damage there. But since the since I think it adds like 400% and I've already got, like, damage wise I got 2200%. That only makes it at like 2600% damage, so it'll do a little, but it won't do, it's not as effective. If it is a multiplier, then yeah, that's, the glyphs would be a pretty nice attack there, and sharing the helms if a few of them, if a few people were using it in the game, because then you would be looking at 4 times the actual base damage there. I gotta go get. Alright, let's hurry this up a little. Do my demigods and Kof runs for the day. Is that all my gravedigger? Yeah. Good.
Proceed to the rupture statue
the hell am I doing here? That was dumb. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so make some demigod keys here. Do those. Like I said, if you want to maximize these, because they are so good for experience, you want to get your experience buffs up before you do them. So 244 million experience just for killing those two bosses. That's what I got. Yep. Like last season, I had an experience build going, and while I was doing those, and I had almost 2k experience percent boost, which was giving me over 500 million per demigods there, and over 600 million for Cathedral of Fire. As you can see, you can get the Crown of Ascender sometimes. If you do get that in the weapon rack or whatever, I always pick that, 'cause that's what you make a slug rift or slug rupture with. You make the key for. Oh, two of them. Good. Okay, so yeah, we gotta try and get more players that play the full season. Can really rock out. Got enough for 2 co-friends here. Let's do those. Yeah, everything resets your character. It's all wiped, and you start the season fresh.
As the flames of my mastery consume you, remember that it was your choice to play with fire, and now you shall burn. You humans, just like the dwarves, so optimistic, it matters not. Your destiny will be identical. Prepare to face the flames of your own undoing, or your destiny shall be forged in the ashes of your futile resistance. Do not think this is the end, hero. The flames of my fury will fester on, and the whispers of the dead shall echo in eternity.
287 million for Kof. And as you can see, there's a lot of chests with large stones and with HP and elemental shrines and all that. You can put it in suggestions there. You never know. They might get to it if it makes sense to them and what their vision is. They'll implement it. I think I know they were looking for some ideas about crafting at one point. But I don't know. I don't know what the goal is there. And like I said, if you put things in the suggestion posts, you know what you'd like to see in that, you might get it, you might not. Depends on whether it makes sense or not for the gameplay and stuff like that. That's why a lot of this gameplay and that was things suggested in that and how to improve the game, so it does get better. It's just it may take a little while they figure things out and whether it fits with their vision of it.
Or your destiny shall be forged in the ashes of your futile resistance. Do not think this is the end, hero. The flames of my fury will fester on, and the whispers of the dead shall echo in eternity.
Too bad I wasn't Electric Dragons this season. It's better than the one I got anyway. I'll take that. Swap those. Yeah, that's... That would be something to consider. I never I don't know. Trading to a limited extent can be okay, but yeah, trading outright items that would just probably get abused. I wouldn't go for it either. I mean, I've played in games where trading is viable and all that, but I'm not really that much into it. Yeah, and then the duping problem and all that. Alright, so... crap, it's 11 o'clock already. Where has the morning gone? I'm gonna take a break after this. I got a couple things to do and that. I'll be back later. Yeah, I might even have one of those too. Nice. Okay, there's that. What else? So, some potions. And the good thing about Kof runs, as you can see, you get 10 of these infused time rupture beetles in the main chest there. So that'll also help you power up as well. Oh, must have found a northern compass there as well. Four of them. Okay, that's gonna be it for right now. I'll be back later. I gotta do my dailies after sometime this afternoon or tonight. You guys stay safe. Yep. Have a good nap there, Insane. Yep, we'll see you guys after.